Welcome back. In today's episode, we'll walk through setting up Ubuntu on VMware from installation to cloning, and finally, some essential network configuration. So the main goal is to show students how to clone on a virtual machine, perform some cloning on a virtual machine. Right. So what is cloning? So cloning machine allows learners to quickly create a consistent, reproducible environment for software development, networking, and testing purposes. So instead of installing and configuring each machine individually, cloning saves time and ensures identical setup across all systems. So this, when you perform cloning, is widely used in real-world IT environment where teams need standardized system for learning and testing and also deployment, right? You also need to also know how to check IP addresses assigned to machines running Ubuntu, and also try to see how you can assign an IP address on the command using a command line, right? So now the lab consists of some steps. So the first is set up VMware. We are not going to do this step one because I have already completed a tutorial on how to install Ubuntu on VMware. So the step one here referred to my previous video. And also step two as well, in that same video, it explains to you how to install, first of all, download Ubuntu and also install Ubuntu operating system. I will take our time and just start and pause the video and then continue when it is completed. Because when you refer to my previous video, it explains to you how to install Ubuntu. So let me launch VMware. So I have it installed. So I double click on this to launch virtual machine. And then I click on create new virtual machine. And I click on new. I already have my Ubuntu ISO file downloaded. So double click on it, click on next. Here I write my details. And then I give this initial setup a username. And I give the password as 1234. So here I will just give the virtual machine a name, that is VM machine 01. And then, because the goal is to show students how to clone using VMware, I always believe in organization. So in actual sense, I want to clone 2 additional machines. So what I will do is I will create one folder within my virtual machine folder, and then create another 3 folders for each of the virtual machines. So this is what I mean. So in my document, I have a virtual machine, which is this. So this is the previous installation that I have. I want to create 3 or a folder, a root folder, or a parent folder here, which is called multi-node. So I can actually do that here. So one person can come in and do that, create a folder called multi-node, and then within that folder, create 3 different folders, right? So this is what I mean. Come in here, create a folder called multi-node, and then in this, I create 3 folders. call this one, rename this, and then call this machine 01. Machine 02, and then machine 03. So here, it means that my first installation will go into machine 01, then all my clone machine, the 2 additional clone machines, the second one will go into machine 02, and the third one will also go into machine 03. So let me delete this. So I want to use the virtual machine environment in creating these folders. So now I come in here in my virtual machine, I click on make a new folder, and here I type in multi-node. And then here I click on make folder, then I create machine 01. I can actually click OK or enter, and then I select on this again, and then I create another machine called machine 02, and then press enter, click here, create another machine and call it machine 03. So now it means that this particular machine, I need to make sure I select machine 01. Then here I click OK. So it gives me the path. So VM machine 01 will be stored in machine 01. So this is what I have done, similar to what I did here previously. So you can actually create a folder here and then go to the VMware select, or within the VMware, you can do that. So I want the first machine to be stored here. So now I come in here, I click on next, and then I maintain the same size. I refer you to the previous video, and then it explains everything. Before I click on finish, here I need to confirm if my network adapter is set to NAT, and then I click on finish. Again, I'll pause here because when I refer you to my previous video, I mean go there and then enhance your knowledge. Right. Thank you. Great. So with the second part, who are you? I need to just fill in my details. So here I gave the virtual machine a name, which is machine 01. You can choose to give any name. And then here, the username, let me maintain the same name, Kwame. And then the password 1234, and I click on continue so that it starts the installation. Okay, so after successful installation, you get this pop-up which tells you to restart now. So you just have to click on it. So currently we are about completing task 2. So let's give ourselves some time for it to come up. Now, after every installation of Ubuntu, you need to install this particular utility tools. It is very, very essential. Please refer to my previous tutorial titled Mastering the Linux Command Line Part 1 for deeper understanding of this command. So in that particular tutorial, I explained to you the meaning of all these commands. So Control plus, all these commands, right? So here, these commands install a basic set of tools that make Ubuntu more user-friendly, especially for networking, remote access, file management, and editing. So without them, tasks like downloading files, editing configurations, configs, or connecting remotely will be very cumbersome. So at this stage, fine, you don't understand the meaning of sudo, that is super user do, but when you refer to my part 2 of that video, I will explain to you the meaning, or I have explained to you the meaning of these commands. So what you need to do is, to make it very easy, I will just have 2 screens on this. Great. So here I just click on setting up, skip it, next, done. Because when you watch my previous videos, I explained some of the things that I just did. So click on the show applications and then locate terminal. So this is terminal, right? So now the next thing is for me to run all these commands. So I can easily copy from this side and then paste it. So I've also made this code available as a system person. So the password that it will ask you is the account password that you used, right? So here I entered 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I press enter, and then it will perform its task. And then when it is done, then I copy this and then I paste it in the terminal. The same way, I have also provided this code as well in the description section when you refer to my previous video titled Mastering the Linux Command Line Part 1. You have access to all these commands. Right. So the next command that I need to type, now I have given this account, because I typed in sudo, I've given it root privileges. So here, let me also run this command. So it will never ask me to enter the password. So do the next. Copy the next one. Wait for it to complete, and then I paste. Great. Then I paste. I still have the grace period. So here, come, type the next command. Okay, so this particular command will take a little time, but I still have to run it because obviously I want my Ubuntu operating system to be able to perform so many tasks. So I need to run these utility tools. Utilities are very important when it comes to operating system. And also let me take you back. Refer to the previous tutorial where it explains each command. So again, the main goal is to clone. So let's assume that I'm just taking my time doing this whole installation, and I want to have 2 additional virtual machines having this same configuration installed on them. So what I would do is, as a network person or as a systems person, I can spend time just install 1 virtual machine and also perform all this installation of these tools. And then the next stage is to clone. So here it would have all the configurations of the base. Great. So now the next is for me to type this command. Still, I'm within the grace period. So let me paste it. You need to just right click on this and just click on paste. Sometimes you need to verify that the structure, everything seems fine. And then I do the next. So let me just do this. Great. So let me just copy this. This will not take time. So again, I've provided all this for you so that you can just practice. It makes your Ubuntu environment more flexible, easy to go. You can carry out any task. So I have taken my time and then have gotten you all these utility tools. So now I am done with this. So let's assume I want, so the scenario is I want 2 additional machines having this configuration. So let me just close this. So I don't need to repeat the same process. Right. So now, so let me just increase the terminal. So I can type the command clear to clear the terminal or the screen so that I can have more space, the prompt to have more space. So now let me just shut this machine down. So the next stage is to shut the machine down, because you need to shut it down before you can perform cloning. So we are in the process of starting step 3. So this is completed. So we're about starting this. So create 2 clones, 2 additional machine, virtual machine. So what I need to do is to power off this virtual machine. Great. Then the next is to select it from this side. If you can't see it, just come in here, right? And then click on show or hide the library, this pane. So if I click here, it disappears. When I click on it, I find my left pane appearing. So I just have to right click on it, go to manage, and then click on clone. It gives you a welcome screen. It says, welcome to clone virtual machine wizard. So this wizard will help you create a copy of this virtual machine. I click next. So here it says, clone source. Which state do you want to create a clone from? It says, currently I'm dealing with this current machine. So it says the current state in the virtual machine. So it will take all the current states. Then I click on next. Then here, the next stage is to talk about the clone type. So here it gives you two options, full clone and then linked clone. So with full clone, it's a complete independent copy of the original virtual machine. It has some key characteristics. It allows you to copy all the virtual disk data, does not depend on the original VMware after cloning, more stable and then reliable for long-term and or producible like use. It takes more time to create, obviously, because it's doing a full clone, and then it uses more disk space because it duplicates the entire virtual machine. With the linked one, it is a copy of a virtual machine that shares the virtual disk with the original VMware. So it has some key characteristics. It's much faster to create. It uses less disk space because it stores only changes. It depends, the key word here is it depends on the original VMware. If the parent VMware is removed or gets corrupted, the linked clones will stop working. So here, obviously, I'll go for full clone. Then I click on next. Then here I give my virtual machine a name. So let me give it VM machine 02 because I'm trying to create a second machine. And then I come in here. I go to my multi-user, select this machine too. So I want the machine to be stored in there. Click OK. You can go here to verify the path. If you're not sure, you browse and you select. And you click on finish. So when this is done, I do the same process, and then I have 3 machines having identical configurations, including the password, everything. Good. So let's give ourselves some time, and then we move on to the third one. Great. So I do the third one, move on next, manage, clone, next, create full clone, next. Let me give it VM machine 03 and then browse for it. Go to multi-node, select this, click on OK, and finish. Great. So now I have all these machines, 3 machines having identical configurations. So I can independently, I don't need any editing. So I just click on power on, select the next one, power on, select the next one, power on. So the same password 1, 2, 3 will work for all. So obviously, if you give a password as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you clone, then obviously clone machines will also have the same password, 12345. So let's give ourselves some time so that we have them on. So right, all the 3 machines ready. So let me enter the password. So now let me just launch the terminal for machine 01. So I'm in VM01. Great. So let me give myself for it to be active. And I click on the terminal. So now you can see Shift, Control Shift Enter. You can see that within the prompt, this particular virtual machine, this was the base. The username is A Kwame and the host name is VM machine 01. The second one, because I cloned, when I go to the terminal, we still have the same features of machine 01. So here, when I type in Control Shift plus key on the keyboard, you realize that it still shows VM machine 01. So there's a command. So when I type in sudo hostname ctl and then set dash hostname VM, so I'm going to give it any name. So the first 1, 2, 3, the sudo command host name ctl set dash host name, you need to type them followed by any name. So let me just type them VM machine 02. Then when I press enter, it asks me of the password, and then the changes will not be applied unless you restart. So I type in sudo reboot now. And then I just type Control Alt to release the mouse cursor, move on to the third machine. And then I come in here. The same way you have the configurations of the base, which is VM machine 01. So the same command, sudo host name ctl set dash host name and then VM dash machine 03 1234 is the password, and then I just type in sudo reboot so that the changes will be applied. So whilst I wait for the 2 machines, 2 and 3 to come up, let me type this command if config. So obviously I want to actually see the IP address assigned to this machine, VM01. So here I can say if the command to type here is if config, So the full meaning is interface configuration. Interface configuration. Now, so the IP address assigned to this machine is 192.168.153.131, which is a typical Class C network. And then when I come to this particular machine as well, when it comes up, first of all, we need to verify to see if we've managed to change the host name. So that's what I'll be doing first. So I switched over to machine 03. Right, so now let me move to my terminal. So I'm currently in machine 02, VM02. So let me just click on it again. Click on terminal. And then here you can see that the changes has been applied. So now I type the command ifconfig. I said the full meaning is interface configuration. So it's a command line utility in Linux and is used to view and then configure network interfaces. So this particular machine is also given 135. The same way with machine 03, go to the terminal. Here, the same way, changes applied. So if config, and then I know the IP address to be 136 for now. So here, what I would do is I can ping machine 01, which is 192.168.153. So ping is a command for connectivity to check whether machine 01 is available. So 131. So here he's seen it. Now machine 03 is able to communicate with machine 01. So I can also ping using the name. So on a network, you can call devices using the IP address or using the name. So it's able to give me the response. The same way I can go to machine 01 and do the same task. Ping 192.168.153. So machine 02 is 135, or Control Z to end it, it's in it, or I can just call the name, VM host name, sorry, VM machine 02. It's in it, right? So in today's lesson, we learned how to create multiple clones. So it's not only two, you can have series of machines, platforms to simulate different machines or scenarios, right? It's basically we finally made use of the ifconfig to check the status of the IP assigned to the three machines, and we're able to use the ping command. So by following this workflow, you now have a reproducible and controlled virtual environment that can be used for testing, deployment, or educational purposes, right? So mastering of these steps will give you a strong foundation for managing virtualized systems efficiently. Remember that the key to success in virtualization is careful step setup and consistent configurations. Right. So finally, I can say that this setup serves as the foundation for creating a multi-node Hadoop environment for big data processing. Thank you.